Morning Mommy Moment. I'm Danielle. This is where we sit, take a few seconds to talk life and motherhood. It is Wednesday, the middle of the week. I hope your week is going wonderfully. What I want to talk about today is something that we don't like to think about as much as moms. Fear. We have so many fears as moms. The worst of which would be anything happening to our kids, anything that would hurt them, make them unhappy. That's all the kind of stuff that we don't want to think about, right? To us, that's our biggest fear as a mom. But the reality is, we see that as our biggest fear, but that is not our biggest fear as a mom. Our biggest fear is ourselves. We are so afraid of ourselves. We're afraid that we're not good enough. We're afraid that we're going to do the wrong things. We're afraid that we're going to mess up our kids. We're afraid that we're the ones that are going to hurt them and make them unhappy and mess them up. We're so worried and afraid about this that what we wind up doing is that we try to do. What we wind up doing is we just do and do and do and do, and we don't stop. We try to overcompensate, right? This fear that we have by thinking that, well, good moms do this and good moms do that, and great moms do this and great moms do that. So if I do all of these things, then I'll be a really great mom. And so we just try to keep going. We're focusing on, well, I have to do this and I have to do that. And we try to check all these things off, right? This list of things that society tells us that if you're a great mom, you'll do all of these things, right? Well, if I check all of them off, that means that then I am a good mom, right? And I'm not going to mess my kids up because I'm going to stick to this list, these things, these good things. And what winds up happening is that we are so focused on everything outside of us and doing all of these things that we don't even remember who we are. We're so caught up in everything that we're doing that if someone were to ask us, well, who are you? We suddenly define ourselves by motherhood. We say, well, I'm a mom. I do this and I do that and, and all of these things. And we define ourselves by motherhood, and we're all guilty of it. We all do it. If someone says, well, what do you do, and ask you about your life, that's the first thing we say. Oh, I'm a mom, and this is what I do. And it's good, it's great, and it's wonderful. But we still are the same person we were before we had the kids. We just forget that because we're trying to create something. We're trying to become this mom, this perfect mom, right? That we've made up in our head, this fallacy. So we completely disconnect from who we are. And the thing is that when our kids came into this world, who did they meet? That fallacy mom that we've built up and created over time? No, not at all. They met us. They met the real us, the true, authentic, my heart is broken wide open as I'm holding you in my arms. Us, that's who they met. That's who they know and fell in love with. So when we're trying to sit here and become this mom, this person that is a figment of our imagination, a creation, we're completely disconnected from that person that our kids fell in love with to begin with. We're not them anymore. It is very hard. It's very scary. It's very scary to just let ourselves crack wide open in every single moment because there's so many things that we don't know. Life is just unknown moment after unknown moment. Anything could happen right now. Anyone could knock on my door right now. Anything could happen, right? It's constant unknowns. But when we're in charge of other human beings, it's these constant unknowns that are really scary. So we try to protect them by doing and being all of these things. We're actually hurting them more than anything when we're trying to not just be us and just be real and just be true. Because all of these things that we're doing it to check off a list, and our love and our heart isn't into that. We're not pouring it all into everything that we're doing. So our kids are missing out. They're missing out on the love. They're missing out on us. And so we wind up doing the exact opposite of what we want. We're afraid of hurting them. We're afraid of not being enough. But guess what? We are. As long as we don't hold back, as long as we pour everything in, even when they're not responding, and it doesn't seem like they're happy with all of the love that we're giving them and everything that we're doing for them, that's the best thing for them. The best thing that we could possibly do. So we have to stop being afraid. We have to stop being afraid of ourselves and just open up and just love. And to not worry about all the things that we're doing and checking off a list, and instead going with what feels good to us. Sometimes it's good to have that list and to look at and to get advice from other moms and all of that, but ultimately we have to go with what's in our heart. We have to go with what we know is right for us and right for our kids. So I'm not afraid of you. I see you. I see how amazing you are. I see how hard you're working. I see how much you want for your kids and how you want to do everything that you possibly can to give them everything that you can. So just give them you and give them all of you, and don't be afraid of it, because you actually are really freaking awesome. And that's what your kids see and love when they come up and they hug you and they snuggle you. Even if they just got in trouble or whatever, they see you, they see that, and that's what they want. So the world needs all of the love that you're pouring into it through your kids, and your kids need all of the love that you're pouring into them. I love you tremendously. Thank you for joining me today. You're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.